here before I get started on the sloppy Joe recipe, because the garlic takes a while to roast, and then it's going to cool off. And while it's cooling off, I'm going to be like, ow, 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 my hands, my fingers, when I try to cut it. All right, I'm just going to cut these guys. I have been, so my process for like the garlic, when I've done like whole roasted garlic, often like in the past, I was just cutting it in half and then like having two halves. And I feel like it falls apart that way. So what I've been doing lately is just taking just the tips off, right? These tips, and then roasting it like this, just like one whole bulb without having um, without cutting it in half. Um, it's a little harder to get out of here ultimately that way, but I don't mind that. Um, Merrick, though, but yeah, I mean, your pantry, if you have the space, if you have the space to buy and store in bulk, it's money saving. If you're just saving money, like, um, we raided over yesterday after we finished up. We raided over to Miss Molly Makes, and I actually spent the entire rest of the stream there, which is super rare. After I raid out, I'm usually like frantically cleaning up and doing everything, but it wasn't my turn for bedtime last night, and I got the chance to hang out there. And Merrick, you would probably have found the conversation interesting because her thing this week was doing $50 for all week. Um, and she was talking about buying in bulk, and she was like, if you buy in bulk and you can do things in bulk like that, you then have the opportunity to say, hey, like, I'm going to buy this 25-pound thing of flour and I'm going to save it. Like, oh, it's on sale this week, so let's save it, and then we'll get a better deal on it. And like, of course that works. Come delish, welcome in. Are you guys on the road yet? You're so close. You're so close. Um, oh, I also have I'm wiping my fingers off on this like funny little camping towel that I always take with me in case I want to have like some fancy Instagram, right? Like, who am I? Uh, I'm weird. That's fine. So this garlic, I'm just putting in salt, like olive oil. I put a little layer in. I'm going to put a little bit more, kind of letting that soak down into the garlic. The difference with having it be just cutting the top off versus cutting it in half is that it has less surface area to get salty. Less surface area to get salty. I can be salty all on my own. Not that salty, but it's 2 weeks away. Well, Krem, you're doing well. If you're only 2 weeks away, that's a lot of work. Like, y'all are putting everything into that, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to like watch. I'm excited to watch the stream, to be honest. I'm excited to watch the stream because I feel like it will be just yet another evolution, and it's really fun to see the community that you guys are building around it. Have built. It's also fun to see the way the community is like transitioning into supporting this project, um, which I love. Okay, so we are. Oh my, interesting. Is that a thing? I don't know what the verified. Oh, okay. I think I didn't know that was still a thing. I actually, I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to be a thing. Give me a second here, because I actually don't want that to be a thing. And this is the first time that anyone has said that. So I know right where it is. It's under, oh, there it is. It's under, there we go. So it had a note in there. The settings were first time chatters must have a verified phone number. I just took that off, and it says now without a verified phone number must have accounts older than 1 week. And without a verified phone number must have followed for more than 10 minutes. Okay. Well, there we go. That's easy enough. Okay. Hopefully I don't actually like end my stream here by accident. Okay. It does. Okay. I just turned it off. I turned off the, it is absolutely older than 1 week. That is a fair statement. That is a very fair statement. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to change that to only require chatters without a verified phone number to have an account older than 3 months. I think that's reasonable. Everything else is there. Sometimes I don't know, like I know there's a lot of Twitch settings, and sometimes I'm like, I appreciate when people hi, 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 welcome in. We did it. Thank you for coordinating via Shayna for that. I'm sorry that you were locked out. I always, guys, friends, I appreciate when people point things out like that, because it's super helpful, because I don't know how many people have not been able to chat for that reason. And I don't need that. I don't need that. Weird. That's weird. I think I probably set that when I was very first setting up Twitch and didn't know anything about anything. So sorry, I didn't mean to lock you out. Welcome in. So garlic is in the oven. Pause. I need a timer for the garlic because I just tossed it in the oven, and now it's going to be, it'll be mush. Yeah, no worries, Katie. It was set to that it has to have one. There's no can't talk and type at the same time. There we go. So that you had to have one. But I didn't actually read. I'm guilty. I'm plenty guilty of that myself. So it's all good. It's all good. We did it. Welcome in. Oh, all right. Oven just got to temp. Mrs. Ruby, do you prefer Mrs. Ruby or Katie in chat? In when you were on the receiving end of the chat? I was thinking about you the other day, actually, though, because after you were singing like a million show tunes, I've been listening to Les Mis now for like 3 days straight. I guess it messes up a follow age, but I don't I don't particularly concern myself with the follower age of folks who have been following, just if they're here or not. Yes, I was picking up my son from school, and on the walk over, I got some funny side eyes because I had my headphones in and I was singing, do you hear the people sing the song of angry men? And I was like belting it out on the walk through the city, and people were like, who's this? Who's this guy? What's he gonna do? And Katie, if Calvin were here, my son Calvin, he would absolutely match you line for line in Hamilton. It's all he listens to. It is. I love. Oh my god, I love that musical so much. I like all musicals. That's where Gwen and I met, is in the theater group at college. She an actor, I a techie. I like to wear black, so it tracks. Okay, add the onion, pepper, and garlic. So all this just goes in the same pan. I mean, I've made this recipe multiple times. This is not a surprise, but it is something I want to get right. Water's boiling. Okay, Water's boiling, so we can drop the pasta in. Hello. Drop, drop, drop. Salt your pasta water. Salt it. Okay. Pasta is here. Um, Roger and Hammerstein, not my bag. Yeah, I grew up the first musical. Um, Shayna, there are plenty of musical theater podcasts. Yeah, we met in college. She was in Cabaret and she played Sally Bowles. And this was our sophomore year. I um, had she transferred in, so we were in the same grade. My partner and I are the same age, not exactly the same age, but we are the same year in school. And she transferred in and joined the theater group. I don't think she did the fall musical because no, she did do the fall musical, and it was Footloose. That wasn't Footloose. I did the Footloose musical my freshman year. Anyway, she was Sally Bowles in Cabaret, and the first thing I ever did, the first attempt at conversation with her was absolutely cringe, and I'm happy to share it. There was a coffee shop on campus that I worked at, and uh, there was the theater group used to hang out there, and she one day was sitting at the table with the rest of the folks from the theater group, and I was also in the theater group, so they were friends of mine too. And I came over and I was just like, "Hey, I saw you in your underwear," and I was trying to be all sly, and she was like mortified, mortified. Anyway, then I lent her a book of some poetry and gave her a piece of chocolate cake from the cafe for free. And anyway, we're still together. Isn't that cute? Um, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Yeah, it does count. Sure. Do they sing in that? Um, I don't actually know if they sing in that, so maybe it doesn't count. Uh, fun story. The first time I watched Les Mis, I didn't know that it was only singing. That there was no talking, and I was like, "Are they gonna like? When is their dialogue?" And Gwen was like, "No dialogue." And I was like, "Excuse me." Uh, it wasn't immediate, Katie, but it was shortly afterward. Yeah, not shortly actually. No, but that was the order of things. Um, yeah, and we did some shows together. Uh, Funny thing happened on the way to the Forum. Hot L Baltimore. Um, no, no, I clearly did not because the first time I saw it, there's all singing. I CBH did not know there was a '90s Uma Thurman Les Mis version, and I'm now given given the way you've sold it, I'm actually like morbidly curious and not I'm a little curious. I'm a little curious, but I don't think that oh, it's only 90 minutes. Okay, that's like that is basically a boilerplate like comedy like movie. I would watch it though because there is absolutely nothing that could ruin Les Mis for me. Oh, Chicago. Yeah, we did Chicago too. That was another one that was in we did in the theaters. It was fun. I enjoyed being in the theater group a lot. I would not probably do community theater because that ship has sailed, but it was enjoyable. And we signed Calvin up for a theater program this summer. Partial part of the summer is a theater program. They're actually doing Hamilton, so it's a week long like intensive theater program. I don't know that it's intense. It is called an intensive, I think. Um, Tickets in 2020 due to the vid. Yup. Oh man, I love when those events come back around that you were like, I wanted to go to you a year ago, and I'm still excited to go to you. That was me going to a concert a couple weeks ago got that I got tickets for before COVID even started. It didn't get. It was like, yeah, it got canceled. It was going to be a concert in like April of 2020. Terrible. I Are your feelings about Russell Crowe the same strong feelings I have? Uh, I like Russell Crowe, but his Les Mis wasn't necessarily the one I wanted to. Russell Crowe's Les Mis was better on mute. Anyway, um, I like all the versions though, but one without singing, I don't know about that. Um, Patti LaBelle, Patti LaBelle, you get to see Patti LaBelle in Chicago. Get out of here! That's amazing. I'm into that. Uh, have a good one. It's good to see you. I will catch you. I will catch you on stream. Yeah, we did a bunch of theater stuff together, Gwen and I. It was the start of our time together was in the theater group. Yeah, so I met her when I was 18 years old. Isn't that crazy? It's just wild. It's a little wild to me. Seen a lot of change in that time, but who hasn't? So I'm just kind of going back here. I'm doubling this recipe. So I'm cutting a bunch of garlic, a whole yellow onion, and then a whole red pepper. That's what's up here. Um, it's amazing how those kids got to eat. It's like they want to do it every day. It's so frustrating. Um, this onion is like on its last day, maybe last 2 days. So if I was making this on Friday at the cabin, I would have to get a new onion. That's where we're at today. But it's going to get cooked, so we're good. It's going to be fine, finely chopped, it says. I'm using the small knife because I want to look like I have dinosaur arms. Um, it's like I'm addicted to food. Yeah. Well, try to stop and see what happens. It's not good. Um, yes, onions. It's funny because onions a little soft, but that's okay. If it's a choice between using a little soft onion and having to buy a new one, I'll use the soft one. Um, my eyes are like just ooh, another couple slices there, and I wouldn't be able to see. Okay, bell pepper next. It is only 2024 on the East Coast. I used to when I've done night streams in the past, um I used to start them at like 8 or 8:30, and so it feels to me like about 10 p.m. when in fact it is not. Okay, I've got uh about 10 seconds left on that pasta before that's done. I did see the tiny cleaver. I did see the tiny cleaver. It's so cute. I love stuff like that. I love little like kitcheny things like that. I don't like buy them generally. But if someone gifted me a tiny cleaver, I would take it. I would use it. I would have fun with it. Let's get this pasta. Is this done? I didn't stir this, so let me see if this is finished yet. This looks like it might could use another minute or two, but let's check. Yeah, one one more minute on that pasta. Let me finish peeling this. I was like, we rated in there yesterday because I saw her topic about the budget week, and I was like hooked. It was such a good idea for the way to for a way to structure a week worth of streaming and meals, and I really appreciated how she took the cost and broke it down like per serving. Things like that are super instructional. it's nice to have someone like talk through that and like really talk through what your costs are and the strategies around ingredient purchasing. And I thought it was just a really good. Uh, she is very knowledgeable and professional about the whole thing. Food is expensive, and especially in Australia, I understand. I've come through with a couple Australian streamers. Um, I've watched a couple Australian streamers recently, and everybody's talking about their food pricing. She did. It was cool. It was really neat to see. Eating for $30 a day or something. Yeah, yeah. Crazy deals and lame tips. Lame tips. Uh, I watched someone the other day. I was at a brewery. Uh, we went after school. I texted a couple other friends and was like, "Hey, do you want to get the kids together to do dinner tonight?" And I watched someone pay $175 tab and leave a $15 tip. And I didn't say anything because I'm not the type of person who would like say that to somebody like, "Hey, uh you're a piece of garbage." Uh, but I thought it. But I thought it. Like, I don't know. I get it. Money's tight. People are tight on money, and I don't want to make assumptions about someone else's ability to leave a tip. But I guess what I'm saying is if you can drop $175 on a tab at a brewery, you can leave a better tip. That's it. That's just my like, you know, if someone came in and was like, "Can I get a burger?" Like one burger, and they left like a really low tip, fine. But you pay that much money for your meal, and you leave that little a tip. Like, come on, man. And whoa, shit, that's hot. I don't, I don't want to generalize, so I'm not going to generalize by naming the things that I'm talking about. But I did when I looked at the person before they paid. They looked like the kind of person who doesn't leave a tip. So I don't know that this was a hardship issue. Anyway, I will hop off my soapbox. Um, yeah, a 20% tip is fine. Like, and on a $65 bill, like that's still a little different. Um, Liz, no, 20% is normal. Like that amount on $175 is like insulting. It's insulting. What service industry workers get paid to do a thankless, stressful job is also insulting. But I can't change that while I'm sitting there at their table. I can change that through advocacy and through voting sometimes. Um, a budget week for $50 or less is a box of butter, a bag of frozen tilapia. Oh, bag of frozen tilapia. Perfect. A couple of bags of Ben's Ready rice. Yup. Same thing every day. Yeah, it is. It is amazing. When she was talking about the menu, I didn't catch other streams this week. That was the only one I've seen. Um, but yeah, it was impressive. Like the reuse of ingredients, budgeting budgeting takes planning. Like you can't you'd be very hard pressed to walk into a grocery store with just that amount in cash and come out with five different meals. Um, Once they start spending high dollar, I just go all in. Yeah, yeah, that happens too. Yeah, I mean, service industry workers they deal with the worst people They deal with hangry people, cheap, hangry people all the time. That is thankless, no matter how you spin it. Um, Merrick, yeah. If I have a small, if my bill is like $10, I might just be inclined to tip $10, depending on the situation. Like, it I'm not going to tip $10 on, or no, I'm not going to tip 100% if we're talking like 20, 30, $40. Um, but if I go around the way to my local and get like a burger and some fries, right? I don't drink and I'm in a bar, so I'm getting like club soda. So my bill is like $10, $12, whatever that burger costs. And so I usually leave if I'm going around the way to hang out at the bar for a little bit by myself and like read a book or just have some quiet time and sit at the bar and enjoy just like a little reading, a little people watching, whatever. I'm going to take up space at their counter and I'm not going to drink. I'm going to leave a better tip. That's like I think that's kind of common courtesy. Um, when I stayed back of house, yeah, back of house is what's up. Back of house is the fun part. That's where you get to yell. It is considered shady. It's also more it's self-serving too, in a way that like this particular place that I'm talking about is close enough to my house that if the bathroom there was full, I would consider walking home and using my bathroom. And I have done that before. So the owners also live 2 blocks away, like they're neighbors and they are local business owners. And I want them to know me. I want to know them, and I want them to not think that I'm a cheap, inconsiderate turd. 10 years, Merrick. That's a while. That is veteran status for sure. Cheers kind of place, sort of. Uh, less, yeah, sort of like that. It's a little less wood and brass, a little more uh, palm trees and dim lighting. Okay, let's combine the rest of this stuff here. Onion, pepper, and garlic. Got it. Chili powder, paprika, and salt. Those all go in at the same time too. So let's add those together. We've got uh, those are around here somewhere. Where did I put? Oh, chili powder, paprika, salt. How much of those? Doubled. Two, two, and one. Two, two, one teaspoons. Okay. Yeah, familiar for sure. Some of them. When I go out in those situations, don't use your nails as tools. That's why they chip. Um, when I go out there, I tend to want it to be the opposite of cheers. I like to sit there and not be and be a fly on the wall. Um, because usually it takes me a little while to warm up. Usually when I go over like that, it's because I'm like I really need some quiet time. I'm like extremely overstimulated. Calvin's been like doing whatever things he does that overstimulate me. It's a long list. Okay. Let's see. Olive oil, beef, onion, pepper, garlic, chili powder, paprika, salt. I'm gonna get a little bit more salt on here. Again, I'm doubling this. I'm like doing math in my head at the same time as trying to make sure I don't miss anything. Tomato sauce, tomato paste, brown sugar, and mustard. So let me get my wets. Let me get the wets together, and then we can put some heat on this. Pasta I put back in the pot here and covered it with just put a little bit of olive oil on it so that it gets, I'm gonna leave these spices out because I might want those, so that it gets a, doesn't stick together, so that the pasta doesn't stick together. Olive oil. Yeah, Merrick, I'm always like, I want to use my nails for things so bad because they're long enough to use, but I also don't want to break them because I've already got some chips on here. I'm going to come back from this weekend and my nails will be destroyed. So I already know I'm going to get them done next week, but I don't know what color. And I heard one of my friends told me that she goes to get the dip, the like powder dip on them. So I might try to get that next time, and see how that works out. Okay, so I need tomato paste. How much tomato paste? I need 4 tablespoons of tomato paste, which is 66 grams. Perfect. Okay, let's get a small cup here. So we'll open the sauce. This is this opening a can, like lifting a little can lid, is about the only thing I use my nails for. Um, the nails, the stickers. I've never used the stickers either. I just get the gel. I get the gel. Colored fingernails, white toenails. Colored fingernails, white toenails, uh, and then I get my eyebrows waxed because otherwise it'd be one. I get my eyebrows waxed so I can call them eyebrows instead of eyebrow. Anyway, fun little fact. I would try the nail stickers though. I would. I would definitely give them a shot. We're going to open both sides of this can and do the little trick that I learned from the internet recently, which is to take this. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not that side. Hold on. There we go. Take the tomato off of here, or the other lid, and then just push this all the way through. And then you can store it instead of trying to store it in this can. I always used to just put like a plastic cover on the can, and then the tomato paste would taste weird because it got, once it was opened, it got that like aluminum flavor to it. Okay, what did I say? 66 grams? It's 30, 56, 70. Close enough. Okay, and then this is a Pampered Chef bowl. And I know that definitively because it says Pampered Chef on the bowl and the lid. So now the tomato paste, I'll just go back in the fridge and we'll store you for later. All right, what else do I need? Tomato sauce, tomato paste, brown sugar, and mustard. Okay, so let's get our brown sugar and mustard out, and then we can make this, because that'll be it. Okay, so I need 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. One tablespoon of brown sugar is 15.5 grams. So 15, 30, 62 grams. 62 grams. Um, yeah, Merrick, it definitely, I'd stored it in there for like, you know, that was just like the default. I remember I used to have the little can lids, like the mini lids that you could put. What did I say? 62, 66? 66 is fine. I did say 62. because 15.5 times 4 is 62. Okay, now I do not need this brown sugar anymore. So let's put that away somewhere where the brown sugar goes, over in the baking cabinet. And okay, let's move over to the stove. Let me get my camera ready here. Oh, you know what I need for this sloppy Joe? Ground beef. Imagine. Okay, let's get the ground beef out of the fridge. The little can lids they're fun. It's nice. I do like being able to store the thing, but yeah, it doesn't have the right flavor. 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. Okay. One teaspoon of this is 5 grams. 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon, so 15 grams. Wait, 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. That is going to be 6 teaspoons, so 6 times 5 is 30 grams. Perfect. Otherwise, it's just sloppy. Yeah, it's basically ketchup. What did I just say? 30? Yeah. Speaking of ketchup, you know what this recipe doesn't have in it? Ketchup. Love it. Love the fact this doesn't have like 3 cups of ketchup in it. Instead, it has tomato paste and tomato sauce and sugar. So it has the ingredients of ketchup without having ketchup formal. Ketchup formal. But I do have my ground beef in here. Because I'm doubling this, I got the super fun 3-pack of ground beef. Um, so, step 1, heat the oil, add the beef. I can do that. Yes, tomato ketchup. Just like your standard Heinz. You know, I always feel like the sloppy Joes have like just an inordinate amount of ketchup in them. Like it's enough that it gets I don't like tasting ketchup when I have sloppy joes. I want to taste more. I'd rather taste like more barbecue, that type of thing. Okay, so let's get to the stove and let me see if this camera works. Let me see how we're positioned here. All right, let's get a little bit different there. Sorry for the adjustments. I'm just making. There we go. Okay, so let's get heat on. Heat is on. The heat is on. It's on the street. And oil. And I don't know if anyone recalls me complaining about the chat on my mobile, but I finally found a good chat app for Twitch that doesn't that I like, that doesn't close on my phone uh, every 10 seconds. There were 2 versions of ketchup. Okay. A fish sauce. Interesting. I would definitely eat mushroom ketchup. I wouldn't even hesitate. I'd eat mushroom anything. Love mushrooms. Okay, so this recipe calls for 1.5 pounds of ground beef. So we are doubling 1.5 pounds to 3 pounds. Add the beef and cook, breaking it into large pieces with a stiff spatula until browned and cooked through. Cooked through. Important. It's cooked through. Okay. Well, this is weird. It did not peel off the way that it was supposed to. Let's cut this out of here with the scissors then. This is like a big ramen sauce packet. Let me turn this down just a touch while I'm opening all these because I want to put all these in sort of near the same time. Is this one going to not peel on me too? Oh, come on. Packets, I'll tell you. It's actually just probably easier to open these with the scissors anyway. Um, what are the differences? Now I'm curious. I would love to try mushroom ketchup. That feels like a cursed food, but I know that it's not. Okay. One, two, and three. And the last piece, after the meat is done, um, we take the meat out for a little bit. So I'm not too worried about this pot getting overly full because the meat comes out before um, I do the aromatics. So it'll be a little bit easier. It's not going to be like stirring this enormous pile of stuff an inch from the lid. Mushrooms in a pot, salt, pepper, other spices. Okay. So you reduce it. You're simmering it into a paste, essentially. Interesting. That sounds fascinating. I would eat that. Okay, let's get this. Let's start to just break this up. I probably could, not probably, I could have done this in a larger pan. Um, but I know that I want to finish it in here, and I've made this sloppy Joe recipe in this pot a couple times, and I've doubled it in this pot, so I know it'll all fit. And I also don't want to lose all of that like stuff on the bottom that comes off and scrapes off once it got the liquid in there. Interesting. Yeah, Worcestershire is uh is a pretty unique flavor. We do every year I take well, so far this has happened twice. So not every year, but there is near outside of the city. So Merrick, I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Um, and in Kennett Square, which is south of here, just around the Delaware border, is the what is I don't know if it's self-proclaimed or if it's some sort of like whatever, but Kennett Square is the mushroom capital of the world. And every year they have a mushroom festival that is a couple days. It's a weekend worth of uh, what's a good way to put it? Mushroom programming. And we've gone twice now. I took Calvin twice, and every the both years that we've gone, we've tried to eat as many things with mushrooms in them as possible. So dumplings and chowders, there's mushroom ice cream, there's mushroom jerky, all of that. Not a single place there had anything resembling a mushroom ketchup. And next year, when we go, I'm going to make a point to try to find that. Because certainly someone will have done that. I wonder if there's a recipe for mushroom ketchup. I would make that. Like I would legitimately make that if there was a good one. A contemporary recipe, I should say. Okay. Let me get this let me get a little salt on here. So I didn't season this at all. And I didn't start a timer for this either, but it just says cook it until it's done. So that's what we're going to do. It says about 7 to 8 minutes, but this will take a little longer. Yes. This is the way. This is the way for sure. A good bolognese. That's what sloppy Joe is, really. It's bolognese. This recipe is this one's super easy. This is my favorite. I've made this a bunch of times and it comes out really well and doesn't take a lot of effort. You don't have to like simmer it for a long time. It's sort of like a quick hitter. Um, yeah, exactly. 6 to 12 hours. Well, good one does for sure. We're uh we're not making a good bolognese today. We're making a very good sloppy joe. This is coming along. Still browning. We're browning. Today is not a vegetarian stream. Full disclosure. I have never cooked with any of those meat, like fake meat products. I wonder if they're. I'm sure. I think there's probably a direct, like one-to-one relationship, right, between them now, in terms of like if you had a pound of ground beef, you could just use a pound of like whatever. What is that meat called? Immortal, something, whatever. Beyond, maybe. Um, I don't recall. Later in this recipe, uh it calls for breaking this meat up in even smaller because you want it to be like really kind of grainy, sort of chunky. And so I don't mind like really going in and mashing it right now because it is later in the recipe, it says to mash it with a potato masher, which is a unique thing. Um, Shayna, this is I can imagine this being like this would be a good weeknight dinner for sure. It's super straightforward. The person who wrote the recipe has a couple kids and is a big fan. The person who wrote this recipe is a co-host on the podcast that I really like called "Didn't I Just Feed You?" That is about like feeding families and specifically like families with kids of different ages. So the one host had teenagers and the other host has two kids who are both I think one is 8 and one is maybe 11. Um, so I trust what that's why I was saying earlier when I like want to Google a good like kind of weeknighty sort of recipe that I know is going to be pretty uh well tested. I will Google her name after my search query. Um we she is an internet friend of mine. I've grown to know over the past couple years via Instagram. I bet it's hard to please everyone. 4 years is a lifetime when you're a child. Go like butter sauce after butter sauce. Yeah, like anything but that. How about I just teach you guys how to make it, and then we'll go from there. Right. Um, yeah, 4 years seems like especially around that time of like tweens and you're a kid to a tween to a teen. 4 years is a lifetime. I mean, it's the difference between starting high school and finishing high school. So I know for myself, I was very different at the end of high school than I was at the beginning. All right, this has browned nicely. Is not quite finished yet, so we're gonna give this a little bit more time, throw a little more salt in here. Um, I don't, I'm not worried about over salting this because the tomato sauce that I got is no salt tomato sauce, and there's only a teaspoon of salt, a little more than a teaspoon of salt in the dry mix. So I not too worried about making this beef a little bit salty. If the tomato sauce had salt in it, I would probably put less. All right. I think this is looking pretty solid here. It's actually looking very unsolid. It's looking very broken up, which is good. It's so weird. I rarely eat beef. Sloppy Joe is the only time that I really like get like beef, and it's so strange when you don't cook with ground meat like this all the time. It's very like weird looking. Like I'm having a weird reaction to seeing this because it is unlike things that I cook on a regular basis. It's very un-American of me to say, I know, but it is the truth. Okay, let's let this sit for just a second. I'm going to get my plate together, um, transfer to a plate and set aside. No problem. Let's transfer this to a bowl. A bowl, and I'll probably need a separate. But I don't want to. I don't want to mound this all up on a plate. I think it'd be kind of weird. So I do think this is ready, though. I'm not, even when I break up some of these big chunks, I'm not seeing any pink anymore. So let's turn the heat off for a moment. And spoon this into a bowl. So I'm going to use the same pan for the everything else. Cook the aromatics right in here. I don't recall if I look at the directions again, whether I drain this or not, or if I leave these liquids in here. You know what? I don't need to pile that any higher. I have two bowls. I'm like, I don't know why I'm like trying to get that up to the it's a peak, but that sounds great. Huge stock pot is such a boon in the kitchen. My timer is going off. What the heck was that timer for? Oh, it's for the garlic. Right. I forgot the garlic was in there. No geese, I'm tired. No, I got you. I got you. Cat Rad, welcome in. Um, a little stockpile of frozen meat is so clutch for anything weeknight related, especially if you've got like kids, school age children who need to eat, and especially if they're not necessarily on the same page about what they want to eat, just having a good basis is great. Okay. Transfer the browned beef to a plate set aside. Um, it doesn't say whether or not I'm supposed to take that liquid out of there. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it in because I think it'll add enough flavor. Add the onion, pepper, and garlic and cook until soft in 6 to 8 minutes. Reduce the heat slightly. Add the chili powder, paprika, and salt. Okay. And cook until fragrant, about 1 minute. Perfect. Okay, so let's turn this back on. Medium high. And yeah, I'll just leave this in here because I don't see why we can't. And cook the aromatics. You got it. You got it. Okay. These are cooking. A little salt on here too. Salt everything. I know with the Uncrustables, right? But like the thing, I love them. I love them as like easy portable frozen sandwiches, but I want to make them because I can't eat them. Like I can't eat the store-bought ones. It's peanut butter in them. So I need to make them myself if I ever want to eat them. But the last time I made them, I used the excess bread from around the outside to make good croutons with. Um, Shayna, I got my Uncrustable maker after I was watching Lil Miss Nikki use it on her stream, and I was like, I need that. Like, okay, super specific special kitchen tool. I need that. I don't need that, but I do. Okay. These have been on for maybe a minute now. So these have to cook until softened. So while these are going, let me check that garlic because my powder went on. And we'll see how that feels. Okay. Garlic is out of the oven. Just poke. You give this garlic oh, another like 10 minutes. Yeah, I hate, there is zero part of me that wants to throw those crusts away. I froze them. I'll pop them in a bag and put them in the freezer. And there's a couple things that I would use those for. I would use them for breadcrumbs. I would use them for croutons, which I did last time, or I would use them to take to feed the geese at the park. Which is so the bread that hangs out in our freezer has multi-purpose functionality. It's my favorite use is probably the geese, honestly though. All right, we're doing good. These look I love this part of the process because now this is where we start to like build. Like the meat is just browning, but now this is like everything just kind of goes in from here on out. And it's really nice to see it like all come together. So good. What did I say I wanted to put that garlic in for? 10 more minutes? Let's actually set that timer so I don't forget. Um, I have a count up timer happening here, but I don't actually know what I was counting up. I forget. It's nothing that I actually need. Because the only thing that's on the heat right now is the garlic and this. All right. How's this pasta over here? Good. Dry. Put the lid on that. Keep the heat in. Okay. These are starting to soften. I'm about halfway till the next step. I'm getting start to get some of this browning off the side if I can, using some of the liquid that I've got. That'll come off pretty soon though, once I put the meat in here. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of liquid in here, but the tomato sauce is really kind of carries it. That's why I was sort of reluctant to take that uh, beef water. What do you call it? Beef fat out? Beef water? I'm just out here making things up. Okay. So this is just a mix of peppers and onions and garlic. Your classic, that smells good combination. And I am a big fan of that. These are moving. I'm just keeping these moving because trying to get some of this stuff on the side and I enjoy it, honestly. Is that steam fogging everything up? No. Looks pretty good. Um about 4 minutes so far on these. We got about another 2. But we're starting to soften here. And so this is, yeah. I did not drain the beef. I did not. Does it say to drain the beef? It just says transfer. This is one of those nitpicky things in a recipe that, I feel like there's so many things that you could explain in a recipe. Like it doesn't say what to do with all of that liquid in the bottom. Do you pour it into this bowl with the beef? Do you scoop the beef out and let it drain? I don't know. I don't know. It's my singular critique of this recipe. If I could change one thing, I would want to know what to do with that beef water. All right. And again, I'm just making a double batch of this so that there's some here for the weekend, and then whatever doesn't get eaten by Gwen and Calvin and myself will freeze and have that as an easy freezer meal sometime in the next month or 2. So I don't mind making a double batch if I know I'm not going to waste it. It's the same level of effort to make a double batch. Okay, we're at 6 minutes. It's just about 6 minutes. No, sorry, just about 7 minutes. These were in for a minute before I started the timer. So let's give these one more minute. And then the next step is to add the seasonings. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for just a second while I look at the next step. Add the chili powder, paprika, and salt, cook until fragrant. Add the liquids. Return the beef to the pan. Okay, so after this, everything else goes in. And then we simmer for 15 minutes. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That's what all those kids videos are always saying. All right. Good here. So let's add the fragrant spices. Yeah, now this smells good. Hot dang. I'm a fan. The steam stuck some of these spices in the bowl. All right. So about a minute we stir this. Now this smells like a sloppy Joe. Right now that's where the smell is. It's all of those little spices and herbs. Okay. We are at a minute. So add the liquids. Adding the liquids. Tomato sauce 1. Tomato sauce 2. Got tomato paste. Oh, nope. I'm going to use my finger. I'm going to use the tomato paste spatula that I already have. It's already dirty. Perfect. Okay. Sauce, paste. Add the tomato sauce, tomato paste, brown sugar, and mustard. Okay. Okay, everything's back in. Everything is in. Not back in. It wasn't in before. I didn't put it in and take it out. Everything's in except the beef. So let's combine these. Oh gosh, I just licked that mustard off my finger, and now I have the worst cough. Excuse me. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in this tomato paste or tomato sauce can and kind of swish this around to get the rest of the sauce out. And it's fine because it's going to simmer. So if it's a little extra water, I'll just simmer it for an extra like 2 or 3 minutes and we're good. Okay. Ooh, we bubbling. Yay. Okay. Stir, 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 stir. Stir until combined. Stirred. I would say that looks combined. Add the beef. The beef has a lot of liquid in the bowl now, so the beef is also drained. So got a little liquid happening, which is good. As I said, there's not a lot of liquid being added to this because the sauce and what I assume is the beef provides a bit of that. Okay, so let's stir this in. Stir, 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 stir. And it says to use a potato masher to break the beef up. However, I'm not going to do that because I really stirred the heck out of this beef when I was cooking it, and it is mince at the moment. It is not. It does not have any big chunks in it that I can see. So we're just going to let this come together. Oops, sorry, I mean to bump you. And let this simmer for a little bit. This looks really good. I'm going to give this a taste real quick and just see what else we need to do here. I don't think much else is going to be needed. Maybe a little bit more seasoning. Get a pepper in there. Mm-mm. All this needs is more salt. Always more salt. Or I buy unsalted everything because I just want to add my own. And it looks like I'm adding a lot, but there's not a ton. It was, again, not a ton in here to start. I always try to buy the unsalted version of anything I can so that I can add up to my own palate and not have to accommodate another palate. Okay. That that's really good. Still a little bit more salt. We're almost there. The salt brings out everything else, and like as I'm salting it, I can taste the other herbs coming out. I'm also going to add another little pinch of chili powder to this, or let me rephrase that. I'm going to add a big pinch of chili powder to this because it's not quite as warm as I would like it to be. I don't need it to be hot, but I would like it. I don't need it to be like spicy, but I like that the warmth that the chili powder brings in. And yes, I did not stir this chili powder in with the aromatics like I was supposed to, but that's okay. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Okay, last test here before we let this simmer for a few minutes. All right, beautiful. That is a good sloppy Joe meat mix. Okay, I'm gonna let this simmer with the lid on because it's gonna splatter. I'm gonna leave this down here at like a 3 or 2.5 on the burner, and let's come back over here to the counter. I was talking about that chat app earlier. I haven't really touched my phone at all, and the chat is still just like here up, which is kind of nice. Okay, simmer the sauce for 15 minutes. Let's follow the instructions, shall we? Okay, I can hear it simmering. So it's a little high. So I'm going to put the lid on that. So I don't want it to lose a bunch of liquid, but I don't. And I don't want it to splatter. Stirring often, it says, until thickened. Okay, so stirring often. Serve spoon on the toasted buns. Got it. Is the chat app for streamers? No. Shannon, you might actually like this app because I know you are in a couple different chats, and it allows you to join multiple chats at the same time without off of Twitch, so you don't have to switch between chats, and it also saves the history of them. It's called Chatsen, Chatsen is the message, or is the app, and you can type too. But you can have it. So I just have this up like that. But you can have it also show. You can have it show the stream window. Chatsen, Chatsen. Yes, you can also play. Oh, I'm getting a pre-roll of my own channel because I'm not logged in, or because I am logged in. But anyway, Chatsen it's I just found it today, so I can't really like speak to the how good it is long term, but it does what I need it to do, which is save, like, just present a full screen chat with nothing else, and it doesn't close the chat. Like, it doesn't like I'm just leaving my phone on like this, and it stays on the screen for a long time. The Twitch native app, for whatever reason. Yes, Twitch Turbo. Love it. I'm all about Twitch Turbos. I think I signed up for Twitch Turbo before I subscribed to anyone's channel. I think I did that first. All right. I'm finished with my recipes. No more recipes tonight. Now we have, hold on, Sloppy Joes are done-ish. I've got a couple things to do. Oh, garlic. Yay. Okay. So, no, get off the ground. Let's leave that there. We'll leave that there, and I will remember that this is there again a little later. And I'll be like, oh yeah, the garlic. And then it'll be cool enough to handle, which is nice. That's kind of what we want. Okay. These, hold on. I want to put these brownie mixes in my box here. Okay. What's next? Let's make pasta salad next. Pasta salad is going to be another one of those, use the bigger bowl. Another one of those just like made up things. I don't have a recipe for it, but I wrote down a bunch of stuff that I think would be good in it. So that's what we're going to put in it. Starting with pasta. Yay, pasta. Pasta. We have pasta. We have grape tomatoes. I always cut these up, right, when I put these in pasta salad, and I always regret that I cut these up. Bowl or bathtub? Could bathe an infant in here. Small dog, perhaps. You could bathe yourself in this as an adult if you had a rag. But this is the bigger bowl. Our friend, the bigger bowl. Let's put about half of these guys in. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say this now so that you all can call me out and be like, see, look what you did. Later, I am going to try to make a reasonable amount of pasta salad and save some of that pasta in the pot plain for Gwen for the weekend, because she likes plain pasta. So she could have that with butter or shaky cheese or both, probably both. Or she could put the sloppy Joe on it, whatever. So I'm going to try to make her like a reasonable amount. So I'm not going to dump all of these tomatoes in here, which, my normal procedure is let's just put everything in and we'll make a huge pasta salad, and then I'll make everybody in the house suffer for like a week eating leftover pasta salad. We don't want to do that. Nobody wants that. Okay, grape tomatoes. Good. Broccoli. Let's put some broccoli in it. I also have pesto, um, which is great. I've got um, some leftover pesto from whenever I made something with pesto in it, and some leftover herbs from earlier this week. Uh, Black olives, which are amazing. I'm gonna shred a single carrot to go in there. These carrots, by the way, crisp back up beautifully. That's a weird thing to say. That's a very strange sequence of words. Um, where do I shredded carrot? There it is. Black olives, yes. Herbs, yes. Uh, broccoli. Let's get the broccoli out. I'm really going to make an attempt to not make an excessive amount of pasta salad today. I know it's hard. I would be very happy in like a catering situation where it's just like fill this bowl with pasta salad. I can do that. I can do that mindlessly. Um, so let's just with start with the broccoli. So I'm just going to cut. Here's what I'm going to do with the broccoli. I'm only going to use the florets for this. So I'm going to cut these stems off um, and freeze them because I'm going to use them for pesto next time I make pesto. Because broccoli stems taste just as good as the broccoli. Because you know what? They're made of the same thing. I don't know if you guys knew that. Um, but this whole thing, perfect for pesto. This is like ideal for pesto. Um, okay. Let's cut these. That is one head of broccoli, just as a benchmark. I want more broccoli than most things. You prefer the stems. How do you do them, Betty? Like you prefer them raw or you have them I like them when they're cooked. I like taking the stems and cutting them crosswise and having that like the little medallions. They're really good in stir fry. They're like perfect. The stems are perfect. Full nasty, welcome in. How are we doing? We're doing well. I feel good about where the point to which we progressed. Um, talk to me. Talk to me in an hour when I'm still making this pasta salad. This is salad, which is probably not true. Welcome in though. How are you doing? We've got a variety of things tonight. Nothing. We have one completed dish so far, and we will end up having three completed dishes. It does come together quickly, though. Yeah, I'm just. It always happens where I'm like, oh, I'm doing really well, and then like these prep streams, for whatever reason, it ends up like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still like here because I didn't whatever because of planning or lack of some planning or more to the point poor estimations. That's what gets me. So I think I estimated pretty well tonight. I think um, I was planning on something like a 4 hours or so, which will take us to about 11 o'clock Eastern, and I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there. Here's my goal. If I'm still streaming at midnight, I'm just going to say, well, we're done tonight. Because the whole purpose of streaming on Wednesday instead of Thursday before a weekend trip was so that I don't uh so that I don't feel caught short with time. Yes, long stories about arson. Arson? It's not arson. It's only it wasn't my insurance money. Yes. Also, we had a story about a cabin fire, which there are photos of it in the Discord. It's not my cabin. Imagine getting that phone call as a renter or as like an Airbnb, 3 o'clock in the morning. Your cabin. I'm sorry, man. Your cabin's on fire. Okay, cool. See, just put the keys back in the lockbox. All right. Set the thermostat to 50. Mm, too funny. All right. This is good. I like uh I like a pasta salad with a bunch of small things in it, like small shredded stuff like this, because it just takes up a lot less space, but the nutrients are still there. Retrospectively, I think I would have rather had shells for this. Damn it, I just chipped one of my nails. Now there's a little piece of pink nail polish somewhere in here. Oh well. They don't make nail polish out of lead anymore, so I think we're okay. This is why you wear gloves in a kitchen where people are paying you to be there. I don't wear gloves on this stream unless I'm doing something with like meat most of the time. And not even then. I just wash my hands a lot. I just wash my hands a lot and then complain that my hands are very dry. You know, priorities. It is inevitable. This is the only thing I chip my nails on. The gel nails are great, but the grater, the microplane gets me every single time because I grate cheese down to the nubs and then it's like, whoop, just clipped off the top of my fingernail. Whoops. It happens. I kind of for forever and still like to this day, I would really love to have like long clicky nails that were like pointed and like you could kind of style them, but I can't combine that desire with the abuse that my hands take. And not even like I don't even like have I'm not like doing labor, but it's just all kitchen stuff. And I can't type when my nails get very long, too long. Okay. Sloppy Joe's coming together real good, real good. Um, a knuckle holder style grater. Yeah, for sure. Michael Krem, thank you for coming through. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good night too. Good luck with the rest of your week. And Krem, congrats on that article. I saw the article that was posted about you. I don't remember who posted it. I saw an article that featured you. Cool. Moving on up. Is that the Chef Steven note? I love it. Okay, Carrot, you know how I know that Daisy is very much asleep? I've said the word carrot like 5 times, and she's right there on the bench, passed out, hasn't, isn't moving currently. Beverly Hills, welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Healer. Oh, Okay. Yeah, the peeler, like the vegetable peeler, I definitely that's one I just like clip the whole end of my nail off with sometimes, and it's like, oh, darn it, I did it again. All right. This is not a gnocchi bag. This had gnocchi in it, and then I made the gnocchi and washed the bag. I like to repurpose stuff, especially plastic. The box grater, I don't the mandolin I don't mind as much because I'm scared of it, so I don't get my hands very close to it. Okay, broccoli. It's in the fridge. Let's add some herbs here. Herbs. I don't actually know what herbs those are, but they are. There's just a few of them. Okay. Grape tomatoes, broccoli, carrot, black olives, herbs, green onion. Oh, now you're awake? Now you're awake. I see you. Okay. Green onion. And then I also got these little, whoa, almost knocking an orange out of the fridge. There we go. I got these little mozzarella balls. I think I might toss in there too. But let's see what our volume is at after I add some of this onion. Some of this onion's a week old. Some of these guys are too soft to be useful. Let's get them out of it. Get out of here. You're soft. You're soft and useless. Okay. I did. And if she comes over here, I'm gonna have to give her something. I'm not gonna give her the magic word because I would have to cut up another one if I have another one. I do have another one, but I don't want to cut up another one. I'll just give her, if she comes over begging, she will get a real version of the TREAT she so desires. Not real. She'll get one that's made for dogs and isn't just a carrot. I know, I keep saying it. Listen, if you come over, I'm just saying, if you come over, Daisy, you can say hi and you can get something. I know, I see you with your little beady eyes under the table. Staring at me. Okay. This one's soft too. This green onion is from last week, so it's a little bit hard. It's a little less than optimal, but that's fine. It's not bad. It hasn't gone bad, and it's still useful, so we're going to use it. Just like the onion and the sloppy joe. Cool. All right, green onion is good. We're getting there. Um, let's knock out the crumbs from the box grater. Okay, a couple black olives, reef and beef. That's a fun. This is so much better than surf and turf. Interesting. Do they not like crab? I feel like crab is probably uh, seafood is probably a like hit or miss for dogs. I know that cats have liked shrimp stuff in the past, but I don't think we've ever given a beef or not a beef, a seafood treat. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can have one if you come over. You just, I know, I now I said the word. I know, I definitely said the whole word. I did not. Was he doing that? He was doing that on stream. Uh, I will. Thanks for the heads up on that. That sounds fascinating. A green onion cake is not something I. Those are not words I would have put together in a sentence prior to this exact moment. Old and persnickety. We're all. Hopefully we all get to old and persnickety. You don't have to wait till you're old, but I would like to get there. I'm pretty persnickety now. I don't know what that's going to translate like. I saw something today that was like your 20s are for like experimenting and living a youthful life, and then your 30s are for returning back to like normalcy from there. And then it said your 40s are when you turn into an unhinged version of your younger self, only with more money. And I was like, that sounds about right. Not quite there yet, but soon, very soon. Not very soon. Not 40 yet. I'll be 39 this year. I know. Wild. That tracks. Yeah. Uh, it was funny. I was chatting with someone the other day, and we're planning to we were making plans as someone new, and I was saying, um, like, hey, like I don't drink, and they expressed some concern about my not drinking, and I said, listen, I am weirder and more like uninhibited in all aspects of my life, and more like just more like I'm more authentically me, which ends up being a lot weirder than I ever was when I was drinking. uh it's very I'm very comfortable now. The other side of 45. Well, welcome. Well, thank you for going ahead of us, Betty. All time, a lot of time to relax and get cranky. Amen. Very good. Thank you for the raid. Ride the synth wave. Ooh, Lucidum, thank you for saying hi. Welcome in. Friends, what were you all up to on stream this afternoon? Afternoon. It nine is 9:40 where I am. Is decidedly not afternoon. Welcome in. Welcome in. How was stream for you guys? Let me give a stir over to here, which is my sloppy Joe that has been kind of bubbling away over here. And let me say a formal hello, hello. Um, Welcome in. Sweet and sour pork. Oh, banana bread is such a favorite. I love banana bread. I like sweet and sour pork too, but I love me some banana bread. Peanut butter bars sound good. I would love me a peanut butter bar. Without the peanut butter, I'd like to sub out peanut butter for sunflower butter or something else. I'm allergic to peanuts, so peanut butter is not my friend. But cool, very very good as the name says. That sounds like a great menu. We welcome in. Uh, Tonight we're doing some trip prep. So I go on trips with my son about once every 5, 6, 7 weeks, um, and we're doing some prep for a trip this weekend. So made sloppy joes. Those are just finishing up on the stove. Is it sloppy joes or sloppy joe? I think it's singular. Anyway, made that. I'm currently making a pasta salad. Worked on some dry mix for a brownie. I am also did some just general dry ingredient hacking. And next, speaking of peanut butter, we're going to make some Uncrustables, which are like kid sandwiches. Uh, McFull Nasty, thank you for the look. Enjoy your fix. I hope things go well. Um, so let's get some of these little mozzarella pearls out of here. 2.5 grams. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Right under pearls, it says the little ones. They are. They're very petite. Kind of perfect, though. Kind of perfect. Mmm. Sourdough banana bread sounds great. Sourdough anything. I think sourdough, if you like add a little sourdough, if you make it, use bread but make it sourdough, it's so good. It sounds great. Broccolis are indeed small trees. Um, they're very good trees. Okay. Olives and mozzarellas can go back in the fridge. Um, and then pesto. Pesto. Betty, I know. This is what I'm saying. I have a problem. But this is it. This is it. There's nothing else going in here. I put the green onion. I'm going to put the pesto in, and then I'm going to put the pasta in. That's it. So it's just this. I would say this is a fairly. This is about what I was expecting. Like, let's be real. I'm going to add the pasta to this, we'll mix it in. I'm going to end up probably mixing more pasta than I want, but I do think overall this is going to be less than usual. I'm going to actually set the pasta that I want to the side first. Let me do that. This pesto is from a while ago. I made this probably from broccoli stems. I'm just going to use this whole container because I'm not saving this again. This was frozen, and I thawed it for a meal, didn't use all of it, and now I'm just using the rest of it. So I've used up so much Tupperware from the fridge today. I'm super proud of myself. I'm not going to lie. Okay, let me get some pasta here. I'm going to fill a to-go. Why is my oven on? Is anything cooking in the oven? No, we can turn that off. We don't need that anymore. All right. Let's put that lid wherever. Okay. Let's spoon. Spoon. Okay. Let's get a couple. We're going to fill up. So I mentioned I'm just going to keep a container of this as plain pasta for Gwen. So I'm going to fill this first, and then we'll put the pasta in the bowl, and we'll see what our ratio looks like. Now, I like this pasta. I like the salad. So while I don't want to subject my family to it for an entire week, I think what I have left in this pot, plus what's in there, is going to get us through the weekend and probably have a nice little lunch on Monday for someone. I don't generally eat lunch, so someone will have a nice lunch. Okay, that's the right. I'm just going to put all of this in here. So this is a pound of pasta in that box, less what I just put in that container. So let's get this mixed in. Yeah, there's the broccoli coming up from the bottom. All right, this is good. I don't feel like I've overindulged here. Did you deal with the garlic? Yes, I got it out. I haven't done anything with it yet, but it's no longer in the oven. Sorry, I missed the note about fried Uncrustables, which like sounds great. I would definitely eat me a fried Uncrustable. I really like mountain pies, those like sandwiches that you put in the cast iron things and you squish them. They're amazing. Speaking of fried foods. So I'm going to put a little bit of special olive oil on here. Bulk pasta in a Ziploc sounds great. We don't. I put it, Shana, I put it in this container because Gwen's gonna put this whole thing in the microwave. When I'm not here, when Calvin and I go away for the weekend, Gwen like goes into like feral mode and is just like plain pasta and Fortnite all weekend. Sometimes I don't. And let me be super clear that that's not a judgmental statement. That is an amazing way to spend a weekend. Um, and she's also extremely good at Fortnite. So it's a hobby. It's a hobby, but it's like a it's something she's very, very good at. Um, so this is something I got harissa infused olive oil. This was a Christmas present. I haven't tried it yet. I'm gonna try a little bit and back off. Holy okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Harissa, when you eat it, is usually like it goes and feels good all the way down. This is the burning that lives in your mouth. Just like my mouth is on fire right now. Oh, that was amazing. Let's put some of that in there. Let's make other people eat that. Okay. First off, let's come back here. Let's come back to the stove for just a second. Take a look at how well this sloppy Joe came together. This looks it visually it to me in real life it looks very different than it did when I started simmering it. It's more liquidy. It's more liquidy, and it is a lot more combined. I don't see any separation. Like there's no oil separation over here, which is wonderful. Okay, let's give this one more taste test. I think this is good. The only thing this might need is more salt. And the only thing that needs is chips. Um, my taste buds did explode. Um, Shannon, nachos, yeah, like you know, Gwen doesn't like to cook. She's not going to cook while I'm away. There's a reason I cook dinner. It's because it's not an enjoyable habit. It's not an enjoyable thing for her. So let's add a little bit of this olive oil in there. Ta-ta for now. Please do let me know. I would be curious how that turns out. I would love me a deep fried uncrustable. That sounds like a country fair kind of sign. It does. It definitely gives you something to remember it by. Um, I've talked on stream quite a bit about how like the difference between hot and spicy and all of that. This is a spicy that is living. It's just in your mouth. It's just as an entirely like I don't feel, you know how you eat something and you feel it like the heat kind of starts to trickle down. It's not doing that. It's just stuck. It's up here, which I don't mind. It is nice to know that that's what's happening. Um, 10 meals a week, thrilled to have a break. Yeah. I cook dinners and then occasionally, I occasionally cook breakfast. I might do a weekend breakfast every once in a while. If Calvin asks me for eggs or something in the morning, I'll make him like a fried egg or a scrambled egg. But my cooking is really limited to like dinner. Um, I provide the other meals. I cook dinner. Like I make lunch. Um, I make I make Calvin a lunch, like a cold lunch every day. Actually make him, I'll show you. If you go onto my Instagram and scroll back, you'll see this lunchbox for literally years. It's this exact lunchbox. And I make him, it's like a little bento. So there's these little sections in here. And they say vegetables and grains and protein and all that. I don't bother with that. Um, and yeah, if you go on Insta, you can see where if you scroll back a little ways, I can get it's just every other picture is this box. Um Izzy Bose, welcome in. How are you? Um but yeah, Shayna, 10 meals, cooking 10 meals is a lot of meals for sure. Okay, so what we're going to do here is portion out. This pasta salad is for lunch. And this is going to be a hiking lunch. So I'm portioning it into these little pint containers. Are these pints? Yeah. Um, 1 to 2. I never saw this. On the bottom of this, it says microwave reheatable, 1 to 2 minutes per 1 pound serving. Like it tells you how long to heat this thing in the microwave for. That's weird. Um, Bento boxes, yeah. See, like that's a bento. And I think I did catch some of that. Gwen's downstairs screaming. She's like, something just happened in her game. She's playing Fortnite right now. Um, they are bentos, but I put a lot less effort into those than your typical like bento box with the nice toothpicks and the fruit that's cut up into stars and all that. Nah, I'm just like The lunches I make Calvin are basically like raw vegetables and leftovers. Raw vegetables, raw fruit, leftovers. Like we had nachos on Sunday for the um football game. And I put some of those in his lunchbox just cold. Um, but he's been using that exact same lunchbox and the same insert he was since he first started eating solids at daycare. Um, I love the idea of the little bentos and like I started following a lot of those parent Instagrams when I was a new parent and like I was like, oh, these are so fun. And then I like started making lunches and I was like, these are so unachievable. Um, but I would not say that you use the word lazy. I would not say you're lazy. You are having a well-deserved period of rest and you can enjoy cooking when it strikes you to enjoy it. That's really nice. That's really nice. Um, the food separation was not necessarily the motivating factor for me, but I am happy that that box that I have, that box has a little lid on the lid. I'll show you on the lid here. Um, on the lid, you can see how there's these like lines, right? And they are separate. There's like a little moat in between these. The these holes line up really nicely with this, and so you could put liquid in one of these, and it won't spill between if it's closed, which is super nice. I've never actually I've tried it like just to see if it happened, but I do. I wouldn't put like a liquid in there for his lunch. He's too um it's it's too much risk to put liquid in there. He's dropped that lunchbox many times. I Yeah, the thinking of the relentless meal planning is definitely tiring. Okay, I let me say something, friends. I'm proud of myself right now. I've never made pasta salad that was just this much. The pasta salad that I make is always like twice this amount. It's like a giant bowl of things, full pound of pasta. I'm learning. Look at me. Look at me learning. So my pasta salad would usually be this plus at least another one of these worth of like red pepper and red onion and it's like whatever else I can throw in here. So proud of myself. Good job. Okay. Let's file these under finished somewhere in the fridge. And I'm just like, I'm proud of myself because I'm not wasting pasta salad and I'm not forcing anybody to eat pasta salad for like the entire rest of next week. And there's enough here to be satisfying. There's a little bit for Gwen if she wants some, and a little bit for me, a little extra for me because I like it. Okay, pasta salad is done. Sloppy Joes are done. Let's actually, before we get to no, we'll package the sloppy Joe and the gnocchi stuff together. So gnocchi. Gnocchi is very good. Thank you for following. I appreciate that. Welcome in. Welcome in again, I should say. Um, gnocchi. I need shaved parm, which I have already, lemon juice, roasted garlic. So I've got my gnocchi, gnocchi, gnocchi parts. The sign, this post-it note says gnocchi parts. Let's see how this garlic came out. It's cool enough to handle now, I think. Yeah, look at that. It's roasted. Yay. Okay, let's give this a squeeze, or let's get this out of here. This is going to be DJ Harley. Welcome in. How you doing? I was wondering if I'd see you. Um, this you were on time for the literal most tastiest part of this whole stream. Um, we are doing well today. Just moments ago, I finished some pasta salad. Um, Shayna, I've leaned into it. The roasted garlic now um, was something that I didn't like. It just wasn't on my radar, right? But I keep thinking about it and I keep making it, and I've made it several times recently for different things. And so now I kind of feel like it's just okay, this is now a regular thing. This is part of the rotation. Been here from the beginning. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure. I don't look at who's in chat or who's watching because I would drive myself absolutely insane if I tried to look at anything like that. Uh, I saw a streamer a streamer yesterday tweeted something about how they spent a stream not looking at their numbers and they felt real good about it. And I was like, um, don't look at your numbers. Look at them after the stream. Um, Catrad, the interior of this is parchment paper. So I don't like roasting the garlic I don't like roasting anything directly in contact with um, aluminum foil because I read the internet and it told me that that's not good and you shouldn't do that and that you should put a piece of parchment paper inside. So now I do because I don't think the parchment paper is going to harm me. It's paper. But anyway, it definitely, I don't know what kind of difference it makes, but it's just something I do now. All right. So this roasted garlic is, oh my God. I want to just eat this with a spoon. Um, and that's the end of that's that's the end of that sentence. Um, Mighty House, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Appreciate that. I'm gonna wash my hands real quick. And the last thing, well, it's not the very last thing, but the last whole thing that I'm going to make tonight, last thing I'm going to finish on stream, will be Uncrustables today. And I don't know why every time I've made those on stream, I've saved them for last, and it is annoying to do so. um, what are we doing, Mighty House? Liz, thank you for the menu. Well, we're making a bunch of stuff, but I'm getting ready for a trip. I'm going to little cabin camp with my son this weekend. We're going out to up to the Poconos. So I live in Pennsylvania. More specifically, I live in Philadelphia, and so the Poconos are about a 2-hour drive from where we are. Going up, cabin, little wood fire, some food. I'm going to read a lot. Have a slow weekend. It's not going to get above freezing at any point all weekend. So we're going to do some hiking on Saturday and spend the rest of the time indoors. So that'll be nice. I keep reaching for my pen. I keep not putting it back where it goes. Parm is good. Lemon juice, roasted garlic, scallions, herbs, and red onions. So I have a red. What I'm doing right now, I'm prepping things for sheet pan gnocchi. We're going to be doing, we're going to be doing sheet pan gnocchi. Chef is here. Chef is here. Welcome in. Welcome in, friends. Baltimore, welcome in. Maine, welcome back. Welcome back, guys. How are you all doing? How was your stream this evening? What were you guys up to? I know you were cooking. I know you were cooking because that's usually the move. Um, what was tonight? Anything fun? Oh, pot pie. I want pot pie. Little Sparrow, welcome in. Hi, gotta drive home. Heard. Drive safe. We I love pot pie. I've been thinking about pot pie for I've been thinking about pot pie since 2 weeks before Christmas. And I know that I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. I can literally prove it to you. Here's my meal planning. Here's my meal planning from December 18th. On the previous page, I was doing my Christmas planning, and look at right there. Pot pie, shepherd's pie, or lasagna. Those were Christmas options this year. And I've been thinking about pot pie since sometime before December 18th this year. Last year. I've been thinking about pot pie since last year. How did it go? Welcome in. Folks who just came through with Chef, welcome in. Definitely a really lovely channel, and I'm very thankful that you guys came through. We stand Chef Depardieu over here. I need to make pot pie next week. I need to make room. I need pot pie, and I need shepherd's pie, and I need chili, and I need this quinoa sausage dish in my life. Those are the things that I need currently. I have a list. I have a list of things that are uh random. I have my it's random page in here. Random garlic paste, Spätzle, fancy focaccia, peanut butter dishes, rice burgers, spinach and ricotta lasagna, chili, shakshuka, pot pie, shepherd's pie, lots of stuff that I'd like to make. But it's like anytime I'm craving something, I just write it down. Liz, thank you for the shout out. Marie Callender pot pies. Yes, Marie Callender's pie crusts, amazing. They're the best ones. They're the best pie crusts. And it's already February. I know, man, right? Um, friends who just popped through. My name's Lou. I'm a real dad. My son is currently asleep in bed, as opposed to asleep somewhere else. And he's 7. So typically on the stream, I'm cooking for he and my partner, who is currently downstairs playing Fortnite. And I'm usually doing like weeknight meals. So I'm usually online from about 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern. I live in Philadelphia, so we're in the Eastern time zone. But tonight is a prep stream. So I'm prepping for cabin trip that we're taking on Friday this weekend. So he and I are going to go to a cabin and just hang out, eat some good food. So that is the move tonight. My general stream schedule is evenings from about 5 to 7 p.m. a couple nights a week, usually 2, often 3, recently 4. But that's where you can find me. Thanks for popping through, guys. Welcome in. And you all are in good company here. Is she streaming right now? Is she streaming? I didn't know if she went live or not. But yeah, Calvin gets his bad words from her. I don't mind his bad words. They don't bother me, but they are they're definitely from him or from her. Do I have any more green onion in here? I do. I wanted to cut up I wanted to cut up even more green onion. Let's finish off the green onion tonight. Yeah. She was yelling at the game. Yeah, I can hear her clear as a bell from downstairs. I'm sure it's coming through a little bit on the microphone too. Um, I think she's playing with somebody right now too, because I hear her talking. So, she is. If Gwen had started playing Fortnite from the very beginning, she would be a professional. Like she would definitely be a professional level Fortnite player. And when I say from the beginning, I mean like from the beginning of her time playing video games. I don't think there are any professional Fortnite players over the age of I don't even know. Let's say 30. That's probably no, this can't be true. So it has to be a professional player over the age of 30. Liz, that's awesome. I have no idea how to do that. So thanks. I can hear Katie's kids upstairs. She definitely has a different mic. I think she has uh a countertop mic. I feel like the mic I'm using is a bit it doesn't allow a lot of that same stuff through. Um I'm not sure. I would like the mic to pick up more like room sounds. Like I'd like it if you could hear like that.